now I'd like to introduce Michael Peppe, a person that I've been fascinated with for a long time. I find his ideas about human behavior and music and art always interesting. His theory is that all human behavior is music and is therefore composable. Enough of that. We'll have Michael Peppe on.
My name's Michael Peppe. I'm here to perform a piece called Act Music Spectacle 5. I'm just wondering. Called Act Music Spectacle 5, Regions 1 and 2 Looped. The reason why it's called that is it's because it's my fifth work or spectacle of behavior music, which is an idiom of performance that I invented a few years ago based on the concept that all possible behavior is musically composable. The reason why it's called Regions 1 and 2 is because it's the first two of four regions or contiguous sections of the piece. This performance tonight lasts about an hour and 20 minutes. The performance of the work as a whole is about 2.5 hours. And the reason why they're called regions rather than acts or movements or sections is because there's no break between them or intermission or anything. It's just one seamless whole, but they're just sort of areas or regions of the piece, which the divisions that I made more or less for the sake of rehearsal and for presentation rather than them being separate sections with specific beginnings, middles, and ends like that. Although any given performance of the piece has a beginning, middle, and an end. The reason why they're called looped is because 18 different sections in this piece, and 9 in each region are looped and are repeated various numbers of times as on a videotape loop. So hence the full title, Act Music Spectacle 5, Regions 1 and 2 Looped. There's no improvisation in the event. The whole thing is predetermined and notated on an event score, which is available for you folks to look at if you like after the performance. It's on the table that's right there on your right as you come in, or on your left going out, and it's in 4 piles, which aren't quite one for each region, but you'll figure it out because there's signs up there. There's also a key there explaining on how to read the system and decoding some of the graphic symbols, because the whole thing it's written sort of partially in conventional and contemporary new musical symbols, and also in a few hundred invented graphic symbols in a notational system that was invented specifically for this piece. So you can just read a little of that, and you can see what some of the symbols mean in the key that's on the left side of that table as you're going in. On the other table there, that's what is it? It's on the right, and you come in the door again, but it's up against the wall over there. There's also, one thing I should say, please don't take any of the score pages from that table that's next to the wall. They're just for you to read here if you want, and I only have one copy for each page, so please don't take them home or anything. However, on the other table, on the one next to the wall over there, there's some pages that you can take. I think it's page 26 actually. You can take that home if you want. Also over there are 4 essays that relate to the piece. An essay called Act Music Spectacle 5 that's only on this piece, and then one called Behavior Music Theory, which talks about some of the theories behind behavior music. Another one called Performer as Technology, which is about some of my ideas about performance in general, and another one on music, which hopefully is my attempts to prove that all possible behavior is musically composable. And also on the table, scores on it, is also the complete libretto of this performance that you're going to see, of the libretto of the performance of which tonight's performance is the first half, that is to say. So you can look at all that stuff if you want. Let's see. Oh, the only exception to this rule that everything in the piece is scored on the event score is the opening audio tape that I'm going to play before the piece opens, and that is a work that has an independent existence of its own, and the title of that is The Lesson. After that tape plays, there's going to be no further electronic tape or slides or film or other technological gimcrackery. So it's just live from then on. I'm just stuck to the table. This is not part of the performance.
As soon as you turn your back, everything in the universe snaps itself inside out with a hideous sucking motion. The only reason you cannot call the world impossible is because it is only through the world that you know the concept of impossibility. You have been led to believe that everyone feels he or she may be the only living consciousness, but you are in fact the only one for whom this is true. The fundamental structure of reality is totally transformed every instant. It provides you with a phony memory that it has always been the way it is. Since you are always at the exact center of an infinity, there is no such thing as movement, location, space, or time. You are a row of electrochemical events taking place in your cerebrum. Nothing has meaning in itself, but everything can support any meaning. If you could glimpse for even a moment the real meaning of existence, your brain would be neuroanatomically destroyed. You cannot conceive of a thing for which you do not have a word. Everyone's perception is radically unique, but leads them to believe it is more or less similar for everyone else. You have always been listening to this tape. You cannot remember a time before you were born because there was no such time, nor any other. It has always been this moment. Death could occur inexplicably any second. The oddness of the world exceeds the imagination by an infinity. It has produced this talking about it, this talker, this labeling of it, this label. The concept of labeling, the concept of oddness, the word oddness, the concept of a word, the word word, the word concept, and the concept of a concept. Consciousness is not a continuous state, but momentary surfacing for variable periods at random points. Your next awakening could be 20 years from now. Nothing can be proven to be true. Because reality is composed of infinitesimally small moments, there is no such thing as an event. The reason people are untrustworthy is because their cerebral processes are fundamentally random ones. During the night, every ego in the world changes bodies, inheriting also the memory. Old age is not a gradual, but a catastrophic process, and could strike at any moment. Dreams are the reality for which the real world is a dream. There has never been a time in history when men have voluntarily used less than the greatest possible military technology against their enemy, and allowed a great technology to fall into disuse and ignorance. Therefore, there will be a full-scale nuclear holocaust. You are dreaming this moment. The universe will continue to expand until there is not enough matter per unit space to provide listening to this, everything will be different from the way it was when you began. Again, your new memory will conceal this from you. All events occur at random. The universe is one of an infinite number of universes, the closest of which is undetectable, being a billion universe lengths away. Only what you are experiencing right now exists. Love is the feeling that another person is really yourself. You are about to make the first conscious decision of your life.
Why? What? Is? 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 What? What?
what is. Is what is says to what is. When? What is, asks, why, to, and says, are said with. What to says, why, asks, is, and what. Are. Why what is what is asks what is what is says to what is. When what is asks why, to, and says are said with, what to says, why, asks, is, and what are. Why? We don't know. See what I mean? What's here said with what, why what's here said with what said with. When what's here says what says what's here said with. Why we say what is not
we is what what is asked what why we sing what is not we and beef what is not we is what what is asked what why we sing what is not wait and beef but is not we is what what is asked what is what huh oh what why what why what why what don't look. Isn't it? Isn't it what? Isn't what? What is it? What isn't what? What isn't? Couldn't be better. Can I help you? Do what you want. He's gone. What does she care? It's all right with me. How do you do? Don't say things like that. She, if, we don't. We begin 7. Go forward. I, effective, done, continue. O-R-3, 9 was born. She, if and we don't, we begin 7. Go for it. I, effective, done, done, continue. Are we? 9 was born. Why? We would matter to doing is our asking something we made, something we invented, meaning knowing why being is where here is we here are, and we say here is what being does, here what being is asking. Words, red, into sand, movement of heads, blink, walk, reference beams. Horses sleeping. He. Shh. Bye. And if. the Chilean government was flagrant violations of human rights over the period. Honestly, we were so excited about it. It was a company party, and her friends were coming, and that guy Billy knew because... Listen, I gotta run. Oscar. When I go, watch, then act, play, and leaves, and is sent, and falls away. See, when I go, watch them act, play, and leave, and is sent, and falls away. Hey. Shouldn't you be in church? See, when I go, watch, then act, play, and leaves, and is sent, and falls away. Hey. Shouldn't you be in science? Go. Thank you for calling Roto-Rooter. May I help you? Lymphatic fluid is produced by the glands in response to an hormonal secretion occurring several times annually according to the age of the individual. Ibex, again. You're not gonna walk, nobody is again. You're not gonna walk, nobody is again. Nobody is again. You're not gonna walk, nobody is you're not gonna walk, you're not gonna walk, you're not gonna walk, nobody is again. Nobody is again. Nobody is nobody is nobody is nobody is In Ruth 16:23 we read, "For we shall gain great comfort from this, that he who shall turn his head from the brightness of the Lord shall have it loosed from his neck." That's about all we have time for today. Let's close now with a passage from Ezekiel 12:14. Busy, busy, busy. Want a cup of coffee? You don't have a bathroom, do you? Don't pump me. You know how things go. Busy, busy, busy. Want a cup of coffee? You don't have a bathroom, do you? Don't pump me. You know how things go. All writing is pig shit. People who leave the obscure and try to define whatever it is that goes on in their heads are pigs. No language, no word, no thought, nothing. Nothing, unless maybe a fine brainstorm. You are here to participate in an atomic maneuver. Watched from a safe distance, this explosion is one of the most beautiful sights ever seen by man. Basically, there are only three things to think about. Heat, blast, and radiation.
When you go crazy.
You're unique. It's natural. Everyone's unique. But you stand apart from the crowd. You're normal. Thinking on a bite? I turn around, there's your bullet. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Star breath. Oh. Oops. Die. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, 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 Bodhisattva, won't you take me by the hand? Someone to watch over me. Ave Maria, Dei Materama. So nice to be with you again. Start a new week together? Tomorrow, we'll start the day tomorrow with a song or two. I'm not the only soul choose of hit and run. Tag back to the brush, you're back again. See you at your fun. 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 Ruthenium, rhodium, silver, palladium, cadmium. He's playing very well defensively, well. He's throwing the ball well. He's making a big play. Yes, I'll have the baby beef. Unconfirmed reports estimate the Lebanese civilian dead at over 10,000 since the Israeli invasion began.
But you're not seeing.
Terms, the fluctuating magnetic fields which make up the lattice must have the correct frequency components. Nothing is real. According to angles, the bourgeois state does not wither away, but is abolished by the proletariat state, which withers away. Now, nothing to get hung about. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna fall to workshop. Number nine, sensible villain, set you down, fall up and rescue. I have dried myself in the air of crime. Not one jot, all kicked out. Prajna Paramita Avlakitus Vala Bodhisattva. When Bodhisattva realizes that all five skandhas are empty, he is freed from the cycle of birth, death, and suffering. Like as the waves make toward the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before. In sequent toil all forwards do contend. Den Wein, den man mit Augen trinkt. Hands over horses. You play with them? And time. Sir, there's his hat among the leaves. Death. Like I said. A butt of blood. Towards the middle. Piping. Like a sea. Like something sweet. No jump down and jiving. And time served. There's his hat among the leaves. Death. Like I said, 8 foot of blood. You want to get piping like a sea, like something sweet. No jumping and jiving and time. So, there's his hat among the leaves. Death. Like I said, 8 foot of blood. Who wants to kill? Piping like a sea, like something sweet. No jumping and jiving. There'll be no conniving. Et je serais venu du pays arbitraire. On n'a jamais su ce que c'est que regarde. My name is Osmandius, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, you're here at the Animal Dentistry Night School, registering for fall classes. Anyone know where I signed up for turkey root canal? All dead. Their voices rising from the wood pile. Clear deserts. Rows of sky meet scientists circle. A man staggers and leans for support. Ain't nobody's business if I do. Smoke rose on the back of heat. And no wife, no sisters, no children. Mustard, salmon, vermilion, beige, beryl. Smoke rose to the eaves of his mind and hovered. All dead, their voices rising from the woodpile. Clear deserts. Rows of sky beat scientists circle. A man staggers and leans for support. Ain't nobody's business if I do. Smoke rose on the back of heat. No wife, no sisters, no children. Mustard, salmon, vermilion, beige, beryl. Smoke rose to the eaves of his mind and hovered. All dead, their voices rising from the woodpile. Clear rows of sky-beam scientists are called. A man that staggers and leans for support. Ain't nobody's business if I do smoke rose on the back of heat. No wife, no sisters, no children. Mustard, salmon, vermilion, Dave, Daryl. Smoke rose to the eaves of his mind and hovered. Why? Y'all better get on backhand now. I'm not playing with you. Everybody, peoples, march to this hotel, pay on 10:30 the rent, $40, or must leave from the hotel. Everybody, peoples. The primitive inhibiting self forbids the expression of the repressed need. What is the grass? It is the beautiful uncut hair of graves. Sometimes, Rick, I just don't understand what your goals are in our relationship. You're coming here drinking, smelling like a brother. You expect me to give you the money to go out riding up and down the street with those low riders? What, you crazy? You're crazy? Halfway down there we'll go. I sent for my family 12 years ago. We opened this shop last year. We have baklavas, souvlaki, shish kebab. We make living. And now they break into my shop. They steal everything. All the money, the equipment, the supplies, they smash. I have nothing. Accompanying me on some household errand, the beast persisted in sporting about my feet, and in throwing me headlong, exasperated me to madness. Taking up a nearby axe, I sought to destroy the beast with a blow. But this blow was arrested by the hand of my wife. Jolted by the interference and her rage more than demoniacal, I withdrew my hand from her grasp and buried the axe in her brain. The precise connection between the mysterious illness and the freebasing of Cheese Whiz is unknown. October, diseases. Ba-boom. October, diseases. Ba-boom. Bombay doors, Hal. Hal. Open the Bombay doors. What you call your personality is, in fact, the belief that you have a personality. In actuality, you are a row of electrochemical events taking place in your cerebrum. Color and sky, brush and blue. Scarlet fleece changes hue. Crimson bow sinks from view. No radio talking, the disco radio talking in the nighttime, sleeping time. Everybody keep us. You are how fly me dying to SC9 row speaking now. I time 10 who 7 4 7 4 7 4 call gray from the color K is why man run watch the sky hold we fall soon begin then 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 begin ends wrong gone lost Campbell wall sight kind fool follow scorching hole blood rock change breath evil come 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 evil loves young mouths that speak that kiss shoot. Keep them doggies moving, early shoot. Hey, you talking to me, huh? Yeah. Magyar mothers, we are still faithful. Why have you joined the cabaret? Bud? How's Samuel? And you dip wings in blood. Con la sombre en la cintura. La sueña en su baranda. Verde carne, pelo verde, con ojos de fría planta. Luna gitana, Take my hand, I'm a stranger in paradise. Clouds of stone find me hiding. Lace, wing, eat. Clouds of snow find me hiding. Lace, wing, eat. Clouds of stone find me hiding. Lace, wing, eat. A bird. Why, what is, what is, asks, what is, what is, says, to, what is, when, what is, asks, why, to, and says, are, said, with, what, to, says, why, asks, is, and, what, are. World. World. World war. Dance, that's what they pay me, that's how they weigh me down. Unser Ganzen guten Ende, alles unfair, einen Hut, give it down, back down, trying to help these people. I don't mind a little background noise, but it's interfering with your treatment. Hippos, why? But she was moving away from town. Me wasn't political reasons. Suppose he even shut up, considering at this hour who works in Politino, such a human being he is, than somebody running on the one, but... You, me. Hippos, why? But she was moved away from telling me what political reasons. Suppose even shut up, considering at this hour who works on Politino, such a human being, there's so much money there, but... Hippos, why? But she was moved away from telling me what the political reasons. Suppose even shut up, considering at this hour who works on Politino, such a human being, there's so much money there, but... You, me. found a bunch of guys sitting in the school parking lot having some beers last Friday night. They partying, mate. Fucking Tommy Robinson's devising, like, drunk as a fucking skunk that's peeling all fishtail and leaving rubber and shit, you know, devise, right? And we all feeling like no pain, right? We like drinking, smoking, shit, partying. The cops come. Another cop, new cop, the red hair from Melrose. He says, Tommy, get out of the car. Fucking Tommy Robinson gets out of the car with his fucking Miller in his fucking hand, right? Gerard, no, that's not the listeners. Gerard's in the fucking parking lot, the fucking splashes all over the fucking cop's shoes. I almost shit my pants. It was radiation from heaven. Whoosh, flattened the city. Great devilish this city. God's fire. When Abraham found he could really get behind it, God said, grab all your stuff, and they made all these deals, and evil just kept going up and up and up, and God just turned around right then. Abraham turned around, God just went zoosh. Like a neutron bomb, like a big boot, flattened it. You didn't have time to scream, just like a stamp. Like, you know, those movies, those criminal movies where they stamp like ID or something, boom, and that's it. Blood falls through lips, ceiling steel, cars her mouth, her throat. Earl Gossamer. Once more, for those of you who have just tuned in, the President of the United States has been shot. You're all He's a hand of help. Und sieh dir andere an, es ist ihm an. Johnny, can you draw a beat on it? Can you draw a beat on it? Johnny. 兄弟问你多感受，兄弟同下表是的秀。Hey, brother. I got a fight. I got a fine young lady. Don't want to be bothered with all this bullshit you put out, eh? Now, why don't you just take your belongings right along out that door before I have to get over and kick your face? I gonna have to do that? Am I gonna have to kick your ass all over the street? Best shut your mouth, boy. You best shut your mouth by now. You gonna be talking through the holes in your teeth.
You from Cornbread, Mississippi or something?
So set 'em up, Joe. Got a little story you should know. We're drinking, my friend. Jesus Christ, it's getting so I can't have a goddamn scotch and soda in my own goddamn house without you squealing, carrying on, making a lot of fucking noise. Watch out, go over to the fucking Billy's house. Go over to fuck Billy. Look. Obsidian window of the heart. We dash ourselves like starlings against the black pane. I see palms of red with a fair Lord, and spin into our comfortable cities. Oh, oh, no. spin on and spin into our comfortable cities. Oh, uh-oh, no. Oh, foggy the day. In London town, it had me oh, it had me down. These then are your great vocalists, your great vocal artists of the past. Your Tony Bennett's, your Al Martinos, your Dinah Shores, your Peggy Lees, your Robert Goulets. And when you get into these artists, you get into that undefinable something we call star quality. As my good friend and associate Fat Tommy the Pollock used to say, you either got it or you don't. Most of you young singers coming up today, they don't got it. How do you get it? You can't. You gotta have it. How do you develop it once you got it? This is where the professionals like myself and Fat Tommy the Pollock enter themselves into the picture in order to escalate the potential of the individual artists. Oh, you are, 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 oh, you are. Reminds me of what's his name, Tommy. Used to drink with him. What's his name? Used to live at the fancy hotel in Uruguay. Whatever happened to him? What's his name? Tommy? Supposed to go to LA. Some job or something. Did you ever go? Whatever happened to him? Oh, yeah, his wife died. He cracked up. Nice work if you can get it. Surprised by the sun.
Who could this bright visitor be? We mutter. Eye to the keyhole. Case in point, a young man trapped in a carnival mirror maze of fantasy and compulsion, just east of the mind, and just south, the Twilight Zone. Who are we? We're the communication people. The people whose talk is strictly state-of-the-art technology. It's disposable. Reversible. Reusable with almost any leading brand of idea, including our deluxe line. Yo.
about 20 miles west of the old squinting place, just before you get to Mule Creek. Said something about finding the man that killed his Peppe. Now, you all know as well as I do, ma'am, that means he's gunning for Gilligan. And that means he's headed for Dodge. And when he gets there, Gilligan, Big Boy Simpson, Doc Burke, and Democratic are going to be waiting for him. And they ain't going to be throwing no tea party. Hold it right there, Casper. Now, let's see you put that cruise missile down real Lord, won't you buy me an ICBM? Everybody just worry about that atom bomb. No one seems worried about the day my Lord shall come. One stone here. Help yourself to this plane on the pant. Don't pick Debbie. Tommy, get out. Tommy, get your hand. Do what you grab him. Take. Tommy, let me get the napkins. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Thank you, Jimmy. At least someone's cooperating. Rodnia Lorca, Raspilas, Obwit. Nekchmo Piriche, Samini Pulai. Ti podmotore kakaya, Emialiate. No, Obrigera, Esbiasno Edan. Bronze by gold, heard the hoof on it. Steely ringing, thin chips, picking chips off rocky thumbnail, chips. Horrid and gold flushed more. A husky fife note, blue. Blue maison, compliment, quand tu sortiras, que sera-t-il devenu? C'est aussi simple qu'as musical. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was Why? What?
I guess there's going to be some kind of a thing afterwards. We're going to show tapes or something in a little while, so stick around if you want. Thanks a lot.